Hey everybody, Stwida here coming at you with another SWGOH guide. Today we are taking a look at a Leia mirror match. Now this is Squad Arena, so there are some things that might not be exactly the same as what you would see, but they're all feasible in terms of GAC or TW. The enemy Leia has Radis and Jin, which does cannibalize the Rogue One team, but a decent amount of people do actually do this when they put Leia on defense. Similarly, I am using Baze and Captain Rex. A lot of people also do put Captain Rex on defense, or they take Captain Rex on offense with Leia, and Baze is just a nice pre-taunt. I like keeping Baze on my Leia team because that pre-taunt forces Slicker to have to stun Baze out of the gate instead of stunning your Drogon, and your Drogon gets a lot of opportunities to take out a Slicker. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we are talking about the mirror match. There are a few things in particular to note about this kind of a mirror match. However, when it comes to Leia, it's relatively simple. So ideally, kill the enemy Drogon when you get the chance. But fundamentally, the way you win a Leia mirror match is by hitting the enemy Leia every single opportunity that you get. For those of you who aren't aware, every time an enemy starts their turn, Leia gains her unique buff. It's called Fearless, right? Every time Leia ends her turn with Fearless, she gains 6% ultimate charge. Fearless goes away when you hit Leia, right? So if you don't want Leia to gain ultimate charge, there are a few other ways she gains ultimate charge, but if you want to severely slow down the rate at which the enemy Leia gains ultimate charge, you basically want to hit her every single turn, even if you're not killing her. And the reason I say even if you're not killing her is because eventually you're gonna kill someone because you are going to get your ult way before the enemy Leia gets her ult, if you even ever let her get her ult, right? So really what the mirror match comes down to is make sure you get your ult, make sure the enemy Leia doesn't get her ult. This is basically foolproof because the AI in this game, it's just stupid. On average, it's stupid, but most of the time it's stupid. And the AI doesn't know that it needs to hit your Leia so that you don't get ult. It's going to happen from time to time, but as long as you laser beam their Leia, you're going to come out on top in terms of ults. Again, like I said, the only exception here, if you get the opportunity, kill the enemy Drogon, and you're typically going to do that with your own Drogon. So you're going to see when we start the match, we are going to open by calling in our logs, whatever that ability is called. We're going to call in the logs, and we're going to target our Drogon with the stealth. At the same time, because R2 is going to assist when we do this, ideally you are going to target the enemy R2 or the enemy Drogon because you're trying to get a stun. The enemy R2, people seem to like the enemy R2, but I think you could go either way, right? So open with your logs, target your Drogon to put him under stealth and to juice up his basic. That's the other thing the logs do. Gives his basic more damage, a lot more damage on his next basic, and hopefully get a stun off on one of the enemy, a member of the enemy team. That's kind of all that matters. And you can see I've got a Relic 7 Leia, my opponent has a Relic 9 Leia. It's really just not going to matter. Don't let Leia get ult. So without further ado, let's take a look at what this looks like. Our crons are basically the same. He's got a Rebel cron, I've got a Rebel cron, it's fine, right? So we'll target the enemy R2, and we will target our Drogon. Maybe we can get a stun. We did get a stun. Woohoo, right? She targeted their Drogon, and now we're just going to go to town. Now, I will target Drogon because this is an AoE, so that's still going to hit Leia. I've got another AoE, but I'm just going to save it, so we'll just basic Leia so that she doesn't end the turn with Fearless. Again, we've got an AoE. Let's get that burning out there ASAP. We hit Leia, so she doesn't have Fearless because it was an AoE. Now there are a few buffs out. I'm going to AoE again with Baze. That hit Leia. Go for Leia. Leia again. Now, this is one of my exceptions. I will club Drogon. I want to prepare Drogon for death. So I will skip targeting Leia on that. Now we have our Drogon. We're going to basic the enemy Drogon and hope for a kill. He dies, okay? If he doesn't die, he's going to be really close to death. But the enemy Drogon is gone. Now we are just going to laser beam the enemy Leia. so that we get to ult first. And you can already see how much we've got going on in terms of our own Leia. We are, what, triple the enemy in terms of ult? So let's just keep going. Keep pegging away at the enemy Leia. We should be at our ult by the time we get around to our next turn. And the enemy Leia is feeling the hurt right now. Alright, now we just get to go all in. I still say focus the enemy Leia. You're probably going to get a kill somewhere in here. Try to get that ambush off on the enemy Leia. And now just keep repeating. We're basically always using our logs on Drogon. We're at a point where we're just going to keep hammering the enemy Leia, and she will eventually die. We did lose our Captain Rex. Really no big deal. Just keep hitting the enemy Leia with everything that you have, and she's going to go down. Put one of these out there. It's good. And now in this case, you know, I'm going to go for Radis because I want to kill Jyn ASAP. I don't want her reviving anyone. But there's not really a whole lot to talk about at this point. The enemy Radis is dead. Now we're going for the enemy Jyn. She got a revive, and she got it on Leia. That's actually fine. It's not the end of the world, but that is something that Jyn can do. You can see we're just going to hop back in, go right back to the original strategy. Don't let Leia breathe at all. Kill Jyn next so she can't revive anyone again. All that's left is this R2 here, and there's pretty much nothing to talk about at this point. Damage immunity, kind of annoying. I guess you're just going to have to sit here and watch this. There we go. Now we can actually do some work over here. There you go. There you go. Great. Bada bing, bada boom. That's a Leia mirror match. It's pretty much how it goes every time. As long as you continue to punish the enemy Leia and you take out their Drogon, because Drogon is the one who can throw a wrench into this. Drogon can kill somebody. Drogon, if you let him go, he's gonna kill someone on your team. It's what Drogon does. So control the Drogon, kill the Drogon, and then control the Leia. And from that point on, it's pretty much a free win. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them down below. I'd be happy to talk to you. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you all next time.